It's like a really controlled... This is actually a hard juggle.
Juggling side by side.
I pretend they're children. And that makes it a lot easier. Because, oh, I've killed my babies!
I don't know that I would say I found I had a gift, because I'm not particularly good at it.
When I was a child, I had an older brother. I still do, but he doesn't juggle so much anymore.
I started juggling in about 7th grade, something like that, junior high school, and my brother Monty, I don't know why he was learning how to juggle. I just thought it was cool, so I just kept stealing his juggling balls. And he actually taught me. He taught me pretty good.
I was sitting outside my work with my best friend, and they just pulled up and hit on us. A trio of jugglers who were in town.
Actually, it was my younger brother. He was maybe a freshman at the time, and I think in gym class, they offered juggling, so he was learning how to juggle in gym class and was at home practicing, and I think I just was like, oh, that looks like fun, and so he actually showed me how to juggle.
I was in college, and I practiced for hours and hours straight in a pool hall, throwing pool balls up against a wall. I don't know how people juggle bowling pins and things like that. That's crazy.
We were like maybe 15 or 16, just kind of on the loose. And I bought my first set of juggling pins then that were on fire. And I actually learned how to juggle pins with fire pins because they were the same amount of money. So I chose the ones that burned.
The wall was a visual reminder to not throw it in front of me.
I thought that I'd like to be in my natural habitat, which is juggling. So naturally, I'd want to juggle while having this interview.
Whoa. I think we started with the scarves, which are like really easy to juggle.
They gave everybody scarves to juggle. Since we were in 7th grade, we didn't have the greatest ability. Plus, everyone probably would have just thrown the balls at each other.
See, I'm gonna learn to juggle in the next like 20 years.
I used to work at a place called IPA, which was an editing house in Chicago, and they always had at least 2 or 3 sets of juggling balls, in the room at the same time. And you'd be sitting in there doing a mix. There's absolutely nothing else to do.
When you're sitting for like hours straight trying to edit something, and the editors I know, they only have 2 things they do to get away, and that is, one, they either go out for a smoke, and if they don't smoke, they juggle. Sometimes they smoke and juggle.
Look, he's already onto the camera. I've lost it. Sometimes, if it'll put a smile on a kid's face, I'll just juggle.
My kids kind of like to see that. They still like to see when I pick up a couple crumpled pieces of paper and juggle them.
My oldest, she would just hand me toy balls of all different sizes and say, juggle.
I've got a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I've been trying to, once in a while show them the basics. And generally it's, a bunch of things flying in the air and immediately landing on the floor.
They think if they throw a ball very high in the air and then it lands somewhere on the ground, that's juggling.
Honestly, sometimes I'll get laughter and then about 5 more minutes go by and they'll be like, dude, you can stop juggling. Yeah, thanks.
Yep. What's this for? Independent producer? Yeah.
All right, we're recording.
Okay.
Game face.
Game face.
Done persona.
All right. Let me look at you, camera.
There's a juggler named Chris Bliss who does a routine juggling to the Beatles medley.
It's not hard. It's like riding a bike. I mean, it takes a lot of practice, but once you have it.
In terms of like me looking at you, I could barely see you, but I'll just look, okay, you're gonna be sitting there, cool. Your camera totally went limp on you.
What? There's nothing I couldn't do with balls.
I'll coach you on it.
Oh, it was after a Grateful Dead show, and there was a guy leaning against a truck with his leg up. He wasn't even trying, and I was like, hey, you guys, is that guy juggling 7? And my friends were like, no one juggles 7. And he was. No, I don't think anyone else noticed in the entire crowd of people, and I was just like...
Are you sure he was really there?
I'm positive. Positive. And then he said, thank you for noticing, and wandered away.